Welcome back, everybody. Don't forget, as I mentioned off the top, we've got live golf for you beginning tomorrow. You'll see it right here on WDAY Extra all weekend long. Coverage begins of the River Amateur Championship tomorrow at noon here on WDAY Extra. Right after Hot Mike, we'll be live out at Moorhead Country Club. And then on Saturday, we'll be on from noon to 5. And then Sunday from noon until we have a champion. So looking forward to that. Our fourth year of bringing you the Red River Amateur, and that it begins tomorrow, coming up on WDAY Extra. Our next guest, I believe his unofficial home is Moorhead Country Club. He's at a dynamite high school career and continue that over at college at North Dakota State. He's going to be a senior, which makes me feel old for the Bison this upcoming fall, but he has had a dynamite run at this tournament. He's finished runner-up each of the last 2 years, as I don't need to remind him about that as we welcome back to our show. Moorhead's Ian Simonich joins us on this Thursday morning. It's great to see you. I don't mean to rub any salt in the wounds. That's how close you've been on this. Where does this tournament rank for you in terms of favorite, love to play? I know you love MCC. How high is this one up for you?
It's up there. It's one, or if not two, of the summer. It's kind of the unofficial start of the amateur circuit that most of us play in the summer. But it's up there for sure. Everything is just so special about it. Like, you don't get it's the only tournament we play that's televised. With it being at Moorhead and my hometown, it makes it even more special. So
how young were you the first time you played MCC? Do you remember?
Yeah, we were members out there when my first memories of golf were out there when Murph was there. I remember actually my dad I can't thank my parents enough for what they've done to me, but my dad would always take me out and we'd go play. And I remember, I don't know, I was probably 5 or 6 years old. I had play from the 150-yard tees, and I remember playing hole 18, and I drove it up there on the green and made the putt. And I remember running inside and telling Larry Murphy, now our assistant pro, that Murph, I made an eagle on 18. It was pretty cool. So that's one of the first memories I have of playing golf. So
what is the first time you broke 70?
It was definitely in high school.
Okay.
I remember the first time I broke par in a tournament was actually at El Zagle, which that's pretty hard to do at a par 3 course. So I was pretty proud of myself. But I can't even remember the first time. It was definitely in high school. But yeah, I remember, it's crazy how you kind of things improve. I mean, I remember when I was getting better and shooting those scores, you get so nervous when you're around even par, and that was kind of the benchmark. And you just get more comfortable as it goes on.
Breaking 70 in high school, the high school season is impressive in its own right, considering the elements you normally played in. That had to be a heck of a round.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure I caught it on a good day too, with the weather. It wasn't snowing or blowing 20. So, but yeah.
But we'll talk about this weekend in a second. I mentioned off the top, you just wrapped up your junior year at NDSU. Tell me about this past season, and looking forward now to expectations for your senior year coming up.
Yeah. This past season was kind of weird. I think everybody on the team would say that. We didn't win in the fall. The previous couple of years, we usually would win 1 or 2 in the fall. And then come the spring, we came out of the gate super hot, winning our first 2 events, one at Torrey Pines. The first event, we set the school record, and Jake was like a million under par and won the tournament. So it was crazy. Like, we started off hot, and I think everybody's just like, all right, we're just going to ride this into the conference tournament. And then golf is such a fickle thing where you can have it a week, and then it's not like we didn't have it. We just, guess you could say the course didn't set up for us as a team, because we're a pretty long team. But we just didn't execute the first day, and it just happens.
It's frustrating. Is that the best way to describe the end of the season?
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely frustrating that first day. And it's hard. Like, you can't win the tournament on the first day, but you can certainly almost lose it. Yeah. And we essentially did that, putting ourselves behind the 8 ball there. And it's just hard, like the mood in the hotel. And Matt Larson was with us, so he kind of got to see it. But it's just hard. Like, golf is a thing where you kind of need to have those good vibes going every single day. And after that first day, it just kind of kind of shot us.
You ended up finishing third at the Summit League tournament. Would you feel like if you had another round, you had a chance to win that thing?
Yeah, I would say, yeah. I was playing well. And I was making putts. I had just switched to a new putter, and I felt really confident. And going into the last day, I mean, I knew I had, if I wanted a chance to win, I'd have to shoot 8, 9 under, just especially the way the team race was setting up. Like Oral Roberts and Kansas City were tied, so they were going to make birdies no matter what. But I just played my round and ended up being at 5 under par and for the round, and that's just how it ended. So,
give me your thoughts on Division I golf. What has surprised you from transitioning from high? You played really super high competitive golf in high school. What has Division I golf been like for you?
It's hard. That's the simplest way to put it. It is very hard. We all talk about just the way they set up these college events, and I don't know if it's the course has a lot of pride and they're like, oh, we don't want these college kids beating up on our course. But I mean, man, they set it up so hard. You're playing par threes that rarely you get them under 200 yards. So they're playing 200, 220. And then the 36 hole days, it's just such a mental grind. And nothing can prepare you for it. I mean, outside of just going into it. But you just need to be in a good mindset that bad things are going to happen and you got to take them as they come. But, outside of that, it's been awesome. Like, I mean, college is a lot of fun, obviously, and then being able to go around I mean, North America. We've gone to Mexico and we'll go back again. But traveling with your best friends and playing golf it's awesome. Like I'm sure I don't realize how much and appreciate it as much as I should right now. But definitely in the next coming years when I graduate, I'll look back and say these are the best moments of my life.
Coach Kennedy mentioned you're going to go back to Torrey Pines. You're also going to Bethpage next year. I mean, tell me your thoughts on that with the for non-golf fans. That has the sign out there, the warning sign about how hard the golf course is.
Yeah, it'll be fun. And I can't remember exactly how late in the fall we played, so we could get some nasty weather out there too. But yeah, it'll be awesome. This is the first time we've kind of gone into the up in your neck of the woods, right? Aren't you from the East Coast?
Yes, I am. So, correct.
Yep. So this is the first time we kind of hit those parts of the country, which I'm excited about. I've always kind of been a fan of going out east in the Boston, New York area. So that'll be special. I know we go out there twice actually. But yeah, I mean, when you play 2 major championship courses, it's going to be pretty special. And next year we play the South Course at Torrey, which is going to be hard. I mean, it's going to kick some butts, but it'll be a lot of fun.
Well, that's the course where they play the PGA event every year, correct?
Yeah, PGA event. And then obviously the U.S. Open was there when Rahm won, and then Tiger in 2008. Yeah. So.
That's pretty good. I asked that because we had Gabe Benson on the show, Fargo kid who's transferred from Concordia. He's going to play for you guys next year and I asked him about going from D3 courses to D1. I'm sure that's probably what you're going to tell him. Hey, this is one thing. Division I is a whole other kettle of fish, right?
Yeah, for sure. And Gabe will be ready for it. I mean, he plays so much summer golf, and we're very excited to have him. But yeah, no, and we won't know that until Gabe kind of gets in, dips his toes in the Division I setup and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I would assume there's going to be a jump lengthwise and condition wise and things like. And then also they don't travel a ton outside the Midwest, so learning different types of grasses and learning how to handle school with flying, and it'll be kind of a new thing, but he'll pick it up very quickly.
I mentioned that. I asked him this. I'll ask you as well. Having him won a conference championship, how much does that help to your team? He's gone and won an event.
Well, yeah, it's huge for sure. As you get on in golf, it's harder and harder to win. And to win any college event, if it's D3, D2, it doesn't matter. You have to win. Like, you're going to get college players that are good no matter what level you're at. And the MIAC is very competitive. So it's to have a guy who has gone out and, I mean, played with some of the best players in the state, even at the D3 level, it's huge. And to know that he can win and he's kind of fresh off that, we just hope he takes that confidence with us, and it carries over to the rest of the team too.
Visiting here with Simonich for a couple more minutes. Tell me about this weekend. What are you excited about? You love this course. I mentioned off the top, you finished runner-up the last couple years. There's only one other spot to finish in. What are the expectations for you for this weekend?
Yeah, I try to go into every tournament kind of with no expectations. I feel for myself personally, when I put expectations on myself, and I don't achieve them, it's kind of harder to reflect on it. So I kind of go in, and obviously I play out there a ton. So um, I'm just gonna go out and play my game. Obviously, it's a tournament. I always feel like I play a little bit better in tournaments rather than just a casual round. So I'm excited about that. But it's just awesome. It's an awesome week with you guys being there. Um, like it's just going there every day to work or play. Like you don't get that if you drive down Caddy Avenue and you see the big TV truck. It's just really cool, and then you're surrounded by a bunch of really good players. So it drives everybody to do well.
I got to ask about last year. Your teammates with Josh Galvin, who won it. I mean, at one point you're thinking, all right, come on, man. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. It was just, I mean, it was unbelievable golf the way he played. Actually, he's downstairs right now. We're roommates too, so he's probably hearing this. But yeah, the way he played was unbelievable. Like nobody was catching him. You were playing for second essentially at that point. But yeah, like it was unbelievable with the weather we had and all the adversity between stopping and going. I mean, it was crazy. And that's kind of like his demeanor is just go, go, go. Like, I don't really care what's going on, put the blinders on and go. And, it wasn't surprising from like being a roommate and a teammate and a friend. But other people on TV, I'm sure they're like, God, this guy's making terrible TV to watch. But,
I didn't say that, but we'd like some drama. If you can make that happen, can we have some drama coming up 17 and 18? Would be great.
But yeah, people probably don't understand the level that he was playing at that week was unbelievable. So yeah, it was awesome.
And you were the only other person under par. Like that reflective of the golf course. He was 11 under. You were the next what I think we were 4 under, I want to say, something like that.
Yeah, actually, I was looking at him or Goose and I, we were looking at some scores from last year. Yeah, he was at 14, I think, actually.
14,
so he won by 10.
Jeez. Yeah. So, but that was reflective of how tough the golf course was. You were the only 2 guys under par, and you were 10 shots back.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. And I remember I played well the last day.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's just nothing you can do at that point.
Is there besides yourself, is there a dark horse we don't know? Maybe on your team? I know you got a bunch of your teammates that are playing or former teammates or a guy we don't know we should keep an eye on this weekend.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. I will tell you that the talent of this year's field is definitely a lot deeper than last year's, and it's going to continue to do that. But I wouldn't say any of our guys are dark horses, just because I mean playing around them all the time. But Nate Adams and then Nate DeZiel, former Bison now, but both going to give it a shot playing professional golf here, I think, soon. Their games are in awesome shape. I play with them a lot. But then, yeah, some high school kids. I know the North kid is playing, who just won state. Yeah. So it'll be a good mix with the high schoolers and the college players. And then Parker Edens is playing. Yeah. So actually, I play with them. So it'll be a good test. We see them on the road quite a bit. So
all right. So the Bison Jackrabbit rivalry will be on the golf course this weekend, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. So Josh and I, we play together in the morning on Friday with Parker, and then Jake Birdwell, who's going to play golf at Illinois. So it'll be a great pairing for us. And then, yeah, the way Jake Birdwell hits the ball, it's unbelievable. So people get to see that.
2 last questions for you. Favorite hole at MCC is what?
Oh gosh, I'm terrible at these. I don't know. I think the closing stretch on the back nine is really fun. 14 being a hard par 3, and then 15 is a par 5 that's not necessarily easy. And then I mean obviously 16, anything can happen, especially if the wind's blowing. But so I would say the collective of 14, 15, 16, kind of my favorite stretch. And 2 years ago I remember playing, and like that's when things start to happen. So it's fun to get to that point, and once you get into it, the nerves kind of ramp up a little bit. So that's what I would say.
Okay. And then my last question: if you had to play around with just one club, which one would it be?
I'll do an 8-iron. 8-iron's my favorite club in the bag.
Okay.
So I'll pick the 8-iron.
Have you ever tried doing that? Just like, I'm going to play one hole with just one club. Have you ever done that?
Messing around with buddies back in high school, or I'd be like, oh, I bet you I'll beat you with my driver on this hole, or just being competitive like that, but never for consecutive holes. So
it's great to see you. I have a message. Miss Tobias wanted me to tell you she said hello. All right. I want to pass that along. And I will see you at the golf course tomorrow. All right.
Yep. Sounds good. We'll see you then. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for the time, bud. There he goes. Ian Simonich, NDSU senior golfer. He is the runner-up of this event the last 2 years, and one of the guys we'll be keeping an eye on over the next couple of days. Remarkable, and we talked about it, and for those that missed it, Josh Galvin, his teammate, won the event last year at 14 under. 10 shots clear of Ian. That is a boat race. That's a 56-3 football score, right? That's as dominant as you can get. There was one stretch, I think he made a putt, birdies like at 7, 8, 9. I remember visiting with Greg McCullough and Larry Murphy. We're doing the broadcast with me, and they'll be back again tomorrow. I'm like, this is over, guys. I mean, it's over. And he just poured it on the back nine. And it looks like, as I looked at our Storm Tracker app, that we're going to be, I hope, okay. We might have to dodge some rain on Saturday. Right now it's a 60% chance of rain on Saturday. But Sunday looks great. And that's what you like for the final round, to have some good weather. And it looks like we're going to have that coming up on Sunday. Appreciate Ian's time here on the show. We'll break. We come back, wrap up hour one. Some big developments happening college-wise, both in basketball and in football. A couple other topics we want to hit as well as we roll out a Thursday morning. Hot Mike back right after this.